What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today is the first day of a new year and that's very exciting. And in order to celebrate and preview this upcoming year, we're going to take a look at the top 10 most anticipated sneaker releases of 2019. 2018 was an absolutely incredible year for sneakers, probably one of the best in recent memory. And also, while we're still on 2018, I want to thank you all for the incredible support. It's been absolutely amazing, it's been life-changing, honestly, and I can't thank you guys enough. But now let's talk about the reason that you guys are all here, and that's the sneakers releasing in 2019. Obviously, it's still super early in the year. It's the first day of the year, so it's about as early as you can get. But because of that, we don't know a huge amount about the shoes dropping later on in the year. But usually what happens is that at the beginning of the year, you only have a small idea of what possibly could be dropping throughout the next year. And as the months go on, you finally start to see some incredible releases that you didn't even know about, and then also some shoes that you thought were going to be better than they were, and there's just no way to know until it happens. I didn't mean that to totally discredit the entire list, because I am still very excited about all the sneakers on this list, but a lot of times the best sneaker releases of the year usually you don't even know about until right before they happen. So with all of that out of the way, let's jump right into a list of sneakers that we're pretty sure are going to be dropping, and let's start things off with an honorable mention. The infrared Air Jordan 6 in black. The last time this sneaker released was back in 2014, and the one problem people had with this particular release was that it looked like the paint that Nike was calling infrared was actually a little bit more pink than it was red. And of course the OG version of the sneaker used red paint and not this weird sort of bright neon pink that was used on the 2014 retros, but unfortunately back in 2014 that was the only option that we had, so we took what we could get. 2014 was a couple years before I actually started my YouTube channel, and back then I was still customizing sneakers, and let me tell you, the amount of people who actually brought their infrared 6s to me to have that color change from that weird pink to a red was most of my business for a 2 or 3 month period. So hopefully in 2019 we're finally gonna get a true OG retro of the infrared 6 and get our red back. Number 10. The Air Jordan 12 Chinese New Year 2019. The first thing that comes to mind when you look at this pair of Air Jordan 12s are the Wings Air Jordan 12s from last year or the year before. And the crazy part is that not only does the colorway look very similar, but the actual gimmicky feature of the Wings 12 sort of carries over onto this new Chinese New Year version. And what I mean by that is that the black paneling on the upper of the Wings Air Jordan 12 actually rubbed away to reveal some sort of gold wings pattern. And this 2019 Chinese New Year version of the Air Jordan 12 seems to have a very similar feature. The black paneling on the upper of this Air Jordan 12 actually wears away to reveal a Chinese New Year patchwork pattern. Unlike the Wings Air Jordan 12, however, I believe that it's actually a separate piece of material sewn on top of that patchwork pattern instead of a sort of layer of paint like they did with the Wings. Regardless, it's a really good looking Air Jordan 12, and even though that feature is a little bit gimmicky, I still think it's a really awesome touch, and I love that patchwork pattern. The release date of this sneaker is presumably around Chinese New Year, and expect a price over 200 bucks. Number 9. The yet to be officially announced $350 HyperAdapt basketball sneaker. Ever since the auto lacing Air Mag and the HyperAdapt released a couple years ago, people have been really excited about the possibility of actually having an affordable version of that sneaker. Now granted, 350 bucks is not totally affordable, but compared to the $700 and $60,000 price point of the other two sneakers, it's not bad. As of right now, not much is known about this shoe other than the fact that Nike confirmed that they're coming out with a $350 auto lacing basketball sneaker. But I gotta be honest, even if it's a stupid ugly shoe, I'm still gonna buy a pair because that auto lacing stuff is kinda dope. I'm also very interested to see how the shoe does on court, because on previous iterations of the auto lacing shoes, you've needed this giant box underneath the sneaker to hold the battery and the actual mechanism. So I'm really interested to see how that actually holds up on court and if the shoe isn't unbelievably heavy, because the other two shoes were very heavy sneakers. But until the sneaker is officially revealed by Nike, all we can do is speculate. Number 8. The Adidas Futurecraft 4D ZX 4000. This shoe was originally supposed to launch at the end of last year, and I've got to say it was one of my most anticipated sneakers of the year last year as well. But man, the anticipation has been killing me because this shoe just looks so good. Some of you probably won't agree with me on that because yes, it is kind of a crazy looking sneaker, but the way Adidas melded all these different colors and materials and just different design details together looks so good. I'm also a big fan of 4D midsoles, maybe not the way that they feel on feet because they're just kind of underfoot, but the actual possibility of them becoming a mainstream technology is super exciting. Another thing I love about this sneaker is just how playful it looks. It's a shoe that you can wear with pretty much anything. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, but no matter what, it's gonna stand out on your feet and people are gonna start asking questions about it, which is always kind of a cool thing. An official release date of this sneaker is not known yet, but it's probably probably going to be towards the beginning of the year, and expect a price point of between $300 and $400. Number 7. The Tinker Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. Last year we were treated to a new version of the Air Jordan 3, the Tinker variant. This version of the shoe featured a Nike swoosh on the lateral side and Nike branding on the medial side, and it was actually based off Tinker Hatfield's original sketch of the Air Jordan 3. Not everybody loved this version of the Air Jordan 3 because they felt like Nike was really messing with the original version, which, to be fair, this kind of was the original version, but honestly, I kind of see what they're talking about. This version of the Tinker Air Jordan 3 comes in a black cement colorway with the white Nike swoosh, or what could possibly be a 3M Nike swoosh. And I'm very excited about the possibility of adding this sneaker to my collection because it'll go very nicely with my white cement Tinker 3s. To my knowledge, no one really knows the release date yet, and we also don't know if this is just a Tinker variant of the Air Jordan 3 or if this is a Justin Timberlake Tinker Hatfield version of the shoe. But whatever the case may be, I'm excited, and it never hurts to have another black cement 3 in your collection. Number 6. The Game of Thrones Adidas Ultra Boost collaboration. There are a few different colorways of the Game of Thrones Adidas Ultra Boost releasing in 2019. The first of which is the black and red House of Targaryen, which releases in like 3 days on January 4th. I believe there's also like a white and blue version releasing later in the year. I'm not totally sure what that's inspired by because I don't really watch the show, but the reason I like these shoes so much is because I think the colorways on these sneakers were executed very, very well. The black and red version obviously is inspired by a dragon blowing fire, and I think that color scheme translates so well to an Ultra Boost Prime Knit upper. And even though I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones, I'm still an Ultra Boost fanboy, and these colorways look dope. As I mentioned, this black and red colorway releases on January 4th, and the blue and white colorway probably releases around the start of the Game of Thrones season later this year. Number 5. The UNC Patent Leather Air Jordan 1. This colorway is rumored to be an all-star release, and ever since leaked images of the sneaker first started dropping, people started to get really hyped over it. Full disclosure, even though I love Air Jordan 1s, I'm not a huge fan of the patent leather versions of the shoe. I think they're like a little bit too clunky, and when they crease, doesn't look good. But this UNC colorway, it's fire. I wish this shoe was coming out in leather. It would look so much better, but sometimes you just gotta deal with what you're given. As of right now, it's not totally known whether this shoe is gonna be a women's exclusive release or an all sizes release, but until Jordan Brand officially announces it, there's no way of knowing. The UNC Patent Leather ones probably will release around All-Star Weekend 2019 at a retail price of $160. Number 4. The OffWhite Nike Air Max 90. Sadly, it looks like the OffWhite Nike The 10 collection is finally coming to an end in 2019, and it looks like the OffWhite Air Max 90s are one of the last sneakers in that collection. Like the OffWhite Blazers that released at the end of last year, this shoe is releasing in both a black and a tan colorway, and in my personal opinion, the black colorway is the way to go. The original OffWhite Air Max 90 was one of the most coveted out of the 10 collection, and I think these colorways will probably be no different. Like the second and third releases of OffWhite collaboration shoes, these ones also come in slightly different colorways but the same construction, and overall, even though this is more the same from OffWhite and Nike, it's still a great looking collaboration. The black colorway of the shoe is reported to release near the end of January, with the tan colorway following closely behind it. Number 3. The Adidas Yeezy Quantum basketball shoe. Throughout 2018, leaked images of a possible Yeezy basketball sneaker started to surface. Up until this point, Kanye's mainstream Yeezy line seemed to just be focusing on lifestyle wear. There was of course that football cleat, but no one cares about that shoe. Not much is known about the Yeezy basketball sneaker that is apparently being called the Quantum basketball sneaker, but from what we can see from leaked images, the sneaker looks like a pretty bulky basketball shoe with ample ankle support and lots of 3M. Kanye loves 3M. The Yeezy Quantum basketball sneaker releases later this year for an unknown retail price. It's probably gonna be a lot though. Number 2. The 2019 retro of the Air Jordan 4 Bred. 2019 will be the 30th anniversary of the Air Jordan 4, and this Bred, or black cement colorway of the shoe, is releasing in honor of that. The last time the Bred 4s retroed was in 2012, and ever since then people have been eagerly anticipating the re-release of this classic sneaker. The 2012 retro of the shoe released with a Jumpman on the heel, but it looks like in 2019 we're finally going to be getting the OG Nike Air branding. There's also some rumors that this sneaker might drop with the splatter print detailing that was shown on the original sample of the shoe, but I'm hoping for myself personally that they don't do that because I just want an OG Bred 4. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just excited that we'll actually have a chance to buy the Bred Air Jordan 4s because I missed out on them in 2012. The 2019 retro of the Bred Air Jordan 4 is slated to drop on May 11th for $220. Number 1. The 2019 Air Jordan 11 Bred. Like the Bred 4s that we just talked about, the Bred 11s last released in 2012. And like the Bred 4s, I missed out on the Bred 11s as well. I was in college, I didn't have any money, and back then Jordans were almost impossible to get, so I didn't really have a shot. The Bred 11s are hands down my favorite Air Jordan 11 of all time. That black and red color scheme, you just can't beat it. Not much is known about this 2019 retro other than the fact that it's most likely going to release around holiday 2019. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the higher patent leather cut like we've seen on previous Air Jordan retros over the last couple years, and I would love it if they embroidered the 23 on the back. That would just be the cherry on top. But the Bred 11s are truly a classic and one that I'm extremely excited for, and I can't wait to have my hands on. It's probably going to have to be a double up situation for me. The 2019 retro of the Air Jordan 11 Bred most likely drops around the holiday season for $220. And with that, we pretty much wrap up the list for today. Now, I would love to know your thoughts on this list and which shoes you're looking forward to most in 2019, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. Happy New Year to everyone watching. I wish you all the best of luck in the upcoming year. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.